Pardon me.
Great start. After an awesome start
Really
already.
strong beginning.
Hi, welcome to Artful. I'm Finn,
And I'm Aries.
and we are just some guys fooling around with art. Today we did a thing over a course of the week where we gave each other some descriptions of characters, and then we spent the week designing those characters.
Mm-hmm. We're starting with my character design, and these were the stipulations that Finn gave me. So, the character needs to feature 3 circles and 1 prominent triangle. It has to be a creature that is low to the ground. It has to dwell in a bog. It has to have more than 2 feet, or 2 feet or more. And the top of it is metallic or armored, and then the underside or the inner is moist and feels uncomfortable to touch. It has little eyes, and it has to have one area that looks unnatural, like a standout kind of accent.
Now that I hear you saying that, I gave you so many different things to do.
You did.
You gave me like 5 very normal points or something.
And you were like, it needs to have this genetic sequencing. I mean, I thought this was really difficult for a long time, and for most of it, I was kind of struggling for a bit. And then it kind of all came together in, like, the final, like, painting segment. Because I never usually draw, like, little critters. I usually draw, like, characters, and, like, humans. So this was an interesting, like, challenge. But, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so this is me just sort of... this is me writing out all of the things that I needed. And this is me sort of trying to put together 3 circles, just as like an experiment.
I love this series of fidget.
Yeah. And then I started doing some like studies of bog animals, because I didn't really know anything about bogs and like the animals that are in them, so I just found some. That's me writing it out again to remind myself. And here I started doing some like, these are some studies, so that's a wall snail. Yeah, and a snipe. I essentially just wanted to find animals with different shapes that I don't usually use, that I wanted to, like, experiment with. And I also threw in some flora for a reason that we'll see a bit later.
Ooh, very interested.
I
love the snail.
Yeah, I started doing some snail studies because I originally was like, okay, a shell. I don't really find turtle shell super interesting, so I wanted to do maybe like a snail shell. And then I realized they're really hard to do. So I kind of gave up on the snail thing, but for now, this is just me doing studies. I thought that snail was really cute. It's like on someone's hand. It's really big.
So cute. I love drawing snails. That was my whole thing in my year 12 studio art class.
They're really good. They're really fun. Oh, and this is when I started doing lizards.
Ooh, fun.
I don't know how lizards move at all, so I wanted to do lizards in some different shapes, just sort of chilling out. This is specifically an Irish common lizard, because I was using references from, like, Irish bogs.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So I did blocking out of some shapes to get, like, good silhouettes, and then I was sort of sketching. None of this is original. This is just me, like, figuring out how lizards work, really. There's more lizards, and then I kind of started trying to combine snails and lizards.
I love this little gentleman, like, emerging from a little twizzle.
Yeah, and then I realized that it doesn't really fit with their bodies, like, at all, but I kind of kept doing it because I was like, well, I started that. And then I put the snails aside and I started focusing a bit more on lizards, did a bunch of scribbling. Oh yeah, this is, I think, day 2. No, it's not. Okay, so this is the concept that I had at the end of day 1, and I started, like, writing out some, just, like, thoughts. So I was going to take some inspiration from snapping turtles for a little bit, and this is, like, the idea of the creature. Is that it is a lizard type thing that, like, hangs under the water and has a big tongue that looks like a flower, and that it attracts birds and potentially other lizards and just insects and things, and, like, snaps them up.
I remember you saying that you took some inspiration from gulper eels, and I can really see that as well. In the big jaw that just sort of, like, unhitches itself. And now we're back to the fidgets.
Yeah, and now we're back to the circle. So I was trying to figure out where the other 2 circles went. So the first circle is the gulper eel head, and then the other 2, I was like, is it maybe the fins and the, like, hands? So I was, like, dicking around with that for a little. And then I moved to silhouetting again, because I was really struggling to figure out where the 2 other circles would fit.
I really like that front perspective a lot. Oh, we got some
and this
spine.
was me trying out the armor as well. I realized that I really don't like drawing armor, and this is me drawing Which I did keep in a little bit.
Maybe I am the bog-dwelling creature after all.
Yeah, the thing's actually Finn. But yeah, so this is where, I think this is the start of the third day. So this is where we're starting to get the actual concept. Which I already had the concept, I just needed to, like, figure out how it looked. So I was playing with having it have a little light on the end of its tail, because I saw gulper eels have that as well.
They do.
Yeah, and then I was also looking at armadillos as reference for those, like, shells, because I think the way armadillo armor looks is much more interesting to me.
I like the sharpness of this flower, and I like the all the tongues, like the what's it called, like the gullet essentially looks very cool.
And so now I'm looking at like a different angle. So it's the side profile, it's when it's these are like the top side and then the underside, because I know the part of the prompt was like make sure the underside is like looks just like weird, and then the top side needs to be armored. So this is me just like, I think we're getting into like final sort of rendering territory. So yeah, this is what it looks like when its tongue is out, and that like the gullet part is like petals, it's like fake petals and then like a fake flower. And then I figured that maybe I could put the two other balls sort of on the ends of the tail, which will come back eventually, but for now I started with just keeping them away.
This flower's so pretty.
Yeah, so the concept is that this creature is see-through on its underside, which is part of what makes it gross. Oh yeah, here's where I'm like painting out the profile. And so like it folds in its tongue and it takes up all of the space inside. And I had the idea that it's a creature that has like almost no like internal organs, and I was talking with you about making it potentially steampunky, which I didn't really do in the end. Oh yeah, there's just a big pause here. Cool.
You're coloring the
Oh, am I? Okay, good. I can't see it from this angle.
You were just agonizing over colors.
I was, yes. And then I ended up like perfectly just like color picking. But yeah, and then I had the idea that maybe this animal has been like fucked with by humans a little bit. Like it's an animal that has had its innards like sort of carved out of it, and like fancy flowers are put inside of it, and it's just like set up in like these little like bog areas to make like the local inhabitants think it like looks nicer. Maybe there's this is the tail that I was messing around with some lights.
I liked the little lights.
Yeah, and then this was me.
Wheels.
Yes, well, this was me trying to mess around with having circular fins at the back. I was imagining to kind of keep it like stabilized, like the fins would like be moving and
like
wafting about.
Water.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was trying to like figure out how to render transparent fins, and I couldn't find anything. Everything on Google was just like AI generated shit, and so instead I decided to give it two little like light bulbs on the ends of its tails.
That's cute.
Yeah,
like little bumps.
Yeah, and I thought that would be like a thing that would make the bog sort of light up a bit at night, which is meant to be quite unnatural, because I imagine that like there would not be much bioluminescence there, and so my sort of concept for the world is that there are these people who want to really beautify the bogs, and they're doing it in a really like unnatural way by like taking these lizards and fucking with their bodies and then sticking light bulbs on them.
That's so cool. I also like the lighting on the hands, and I love these guts. This is so cool.
Thank you. So I started doing the underside because I was like, this is gonna be tricky, and so I've sort of set it up there, and then I started doing the armored, like the top down view, which I thought was quite fun actually. I was worried that like it would be difficult, which I guess is the point of the challenge.
You hate it.
I was having such a bad time actually with the like see-through part. I thought it was really muddy, and looking at it now I'm sort of like, it's fine. Like I think it could have worked just fine, but I think I was looking at it for too long. But yeah, I did the armor.
The armor looks great. I love the little shines.
Thank you! I took a bit of inspiration from actual armor, but then also sort of took like the duller colors from like armadillos, which sometimes will grow a little like moss in like the scales between. It was really cool.
Cute.
Yeah, so then I redid the bottom, like the underside view as well. And I think from memory I prefer it better. So again, I'm trying to like think about how the flower, like the tongue flower would fold inside of it. Yeah.
God, this is such a visceral thought of like imagine having like a little flower in you that folds in and out. Oh, I like the brightness of that.
Yeah, so I was trying with I was experimenting with bioluminescence again, just to like see how that looked. And I saw in some of the like see-through like frog pictures I was seeing that like yeah, you can see the like shininess of the skin because it's like obviously see through. And there's some sort of weird color things going on there. I made it a bit saggier.
Yeah.
It kept looking really phallic the whole way through, and I was just sort of like, I can't stop this.
I had not thought of that until you said that.
But yeah, I prefer how this one turned out. I think the shapes look a bit better, and I think the lighting is more interesting. I do still think that like I didn't do it awesomely, but I've never done a see-through lizard before, so I think that was fine.
That's so fair. I think you've done a great job for like this being
Yeah.
kind of like your first lizard and
Yeah.
the lily come home.
Yeah, I called it the Lily Come Home because I was inspired by when flowers are called just like sentences. And I imagine that this lizard, they would have just named it after the flowers that they like first put into it.
Interesting. I was thinking about the fact that the tail is a light, being like the idea that the light helps it come home.
Yeah, that's
rather
also
than,
true.
like some like little kid that got lost in the lake or something.
Oh, that could also be a cool like alternate thing. Oh yeah, and at the very end I changed it to be like a bright blue instead of a yellow because I thought it looked too cohesive, and I wanted to make it look a bit more like unnatural because I was like, well, the flower is not really that unnatural of a color, so I changed it to be bright blue instead, and I like how it turned out in the end.
It looks so cool. I really like it. I like how the blue makes it look like little bubbles as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Oh, this is so cool. This is really sick. I love
Yay.
this little guy that's facing us in the
Yeah.
bottom is really cute. Also, he's just like,
know.
hi.
Hi. I decided that I actually really liked this little guy, and I kept drawing him in really like his jaw really extended and really unnatural looking position. So I just wanted to have him be like a pose where he was just chilling and being a little guy. But yeah, that's
This
the
is-
Lily Come Home.
This is awesome. I didn't name my guy.
Well, to be fair, I only named it because there was space in between the top and the underside.
This looks so sick. This is really cool.
Yay!
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
I thought I would have more like jokes, but I just sort of
More bits and gaffs.
yeah, but I just kind of got really excited by it and
Yay!
enamored.
I had a really good time with it in the end. I think I was struggling for so much of the process, but having it done was actually a really cool process. So yeah.
Hell yeah! Well, now it's time for my
Yes.
one. I don't do a lot of mammals or anything. I do some characters, but I also just really like just kind of like needly shapes and things like that. So what Aries gave me was a ferret or like a general mustelid, but it must be upright or humanoid. And I very recently started experimenting with like furry art, but
Yeah.
very, very recently. I don't think I'm particularly good at it.
Not very well versed.
Yeah. The fashion must combine cyberpunk and medieval. Must use a tool or weapon based on a common household item. And then a criminal who is kind of shitty but has a bit of an anxious vibe.
Yeah, I wanted it to be specifically not a like suave, like sarcastic kind of guy. I wanted him to be a bit more like like scrungly.
Yeah, very, very fair. I think I took this maybe not in a direction that either of us were really expecting.
Ooh.
But, yeah. And then orange needs to feature somewhere semi-prominently was the other
Yeah.
one. Which also I think I have done it, but you may disagree. You might
okay.
you might think that's not enough orange.
I mean, I did say semi-prominently, which is kind of a nothing, like,
It is a little.
determination. All right, I'm excited. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
So I started off also just like pasting the instructions
nice.
as well.
Very
and-
fitting font.
Yeah, that's just the automatic one that was there.
nice.
But, I wanted to start off with like a human that I then like made into a ferret.
That's
but
just so cute already.
I ended up not liking it. They're holding like an electric whisk, which I also got rid of. Pretty much nothing stays in here, except for the little tubes.
Oh.
This I also got rid of. I was trying to do a ferret from memory. I wasn't good at it, so I decided to just trace it and then
Fair.
use my tracing as a reference.
That's fair. This is so cute.
Yeah, and then I wanted to clothe him.
Clothe him.
I decided to sketch him out a little bit better here, but I did think this silhouette was muddy, so I just kind of used this as like a little model, and then I don't like render this or anything. I put him in a different pose. But for medieval stuff, I started off with gauntlets because I wanted him to be a bit of like a sort of soldier type of thing.
my
But then I
God.
looked up cyberpunk, and obviously the only thing coming up was the game cyberpunk. And I wear a jacket sort of like that.
Oh my
These
God.
boots I designed kind of to be a bit more cyberpunky or just like punk in general, but you never see them because of the skirt.
Oh no.
Then I did a thing where I was
Whoa.
thinking, what do I think of with cyberpunk? I think of like glass tubes. How can I marry that with medieval stuff? And I thought of stained glass.
Oh.
So up on this top head, this is like the meeting point when I get to it eventually. They have like this mainframe that like powers their body.
Whoa.
That is
Holy
a,
shit.
like stained glass type of thing that then has all of these tubes and wires coming out of it.
That's so sick.
Yeah, because my concept for this guy is that he's like an animated, like a reanimated ferret that has been like fucked with a lot and is like created to be a soldier of the church. They use this lamp, which is what I decided the tool would be, to like power themselves up. So they already have a bit of power like from their neck thing and their head, but the lamp they turn on and it makes the stained glass like glow.
Whoa.
And that will like change the power. So in my idea, they're a bit of like a cleric soldier type of thing.
This is so awesome. This is the only way I could imagine to make the church cool.
In my idea, they're a bit of like sort of like half soldier, half prisoner, kind of like
Indentured sort of.
Yeah, definitely indentured servant type of deal.
This is so sick.
I don't really get that hand right ever, so just like don't look at it.
It's fine. Look at all the rest of the stuff you got right. The stained glass is so much detail, and they're like, oh, the jacket's so cool, and I like this color you're picking.
Yeah, I'm trying to that's me trying to put in the orange a bit. I just had to also put it on the lamp.
Oh, this is so. I love this concept, and I love all of the like the clothing choices that you made. I really think that you did a good job picking things that like help the silhouette of like a ferret, while still maintaining like a humanoid thing.
Yeah, I'm glad. This is me trying to get up the
values.
contrast and everything, but I realized that my filter mask was actually not black to white, it was black to transparent, which is why it didn't look black for a while. I was like, I'm making it darker, but it doesn't look any darker.
No. This is so awesome. I love it. I love all the like how ambitious you are with all of the different like materials that you use, like the stained glass and the gauntlets and the like jacket. It's so sick.
Speaking of materials, I wanted the skirt to be holographic.
Oh right, I
Because
do remember you talking about this.
Because
Oh my
I decided
god.
that it wasn't steampunky enough. Not steampunky. It wasn't cyberpunky enough. So I'm looking up pictures of holographic things. I keep redoing this skirt.
This would have taken you forever.
It did a little bit. Really, it shouldn't have taken me that long if I just like blurred it one of the first two times, but I decided to try and color pick a palette, and then do it that way, which I instantly forgot that that's how I did it. So for every other one, I used the second type of coloring technique. But I think it went
looks
okay
so
when
cool.
I blurred it. It looks alright.
I think it looks really sick. Like for a first holographic try, that's really cool. And in general, I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I have never done holographic stuff before. I couldn't decide on the eyes, so I just decided they'd be like black or brown.
This is so good. Oh yeah, what's the story with the lamp?
So that's the thing that makes it power up.
Right.
So it's sort of like a tool that it carries around that is like, it's like taking off its eye patch type of deal.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And the lamp is, at first I picked a little lamp and I was like, no, it has to be enormous. It's gotta be taller than it. But yeah, I looked up references for ferrets, for skirts, for gauntlets. I did not look up a single reference for a lamp, so the lamp looks bad.
The lesson here is look at references, kids.
But I didn't care about the lamp at all. I forgot to do the buttons, so I went in and colored them afterwards. This is me then trying to figure out a coloring like mask that I'll be happy with for the lighting, because I wanted to have this really strong orange light coming from the lamp.
Oh, that's so clever. This looks so sick.
Thank you. I do come back and I like color grade it again afterwards, but I settle on this more or less for a little bit.
I'm obsessed. Oh, I love this guy.
Oh yeah, I wanted to make the background a different color in case I wanted to draw on it again, which I didn't. I started a new document and then I was trying out poses to try and get the like shittiness of the guy in. This is maybe my favorite pose.
It's really cute. It's very humanoid, but still, like, I can imagine a ferret reaching up and grabbing something like this.
Yay, I'm glad. I wanted to keep it very, like, ferrety and just sort of doing human things.
This is so cool. Oh, I never see you do, like, multiple poses of a guy in situations. This is really exciting to me.
I'm glad. I don't often do multiple poses, but I got to this point and I was like, I found it pretty intuitive to pose him, so then I started with a bit funnier ones.
Oh, this is so cute. These are so awesome. Oh my god. I feel that you hit on such an original, like, character design. It looks so sick. Oh my god. He's at yoga class.
He's just sort of up. He's upside down. I was like, what if I did this shape? It made me laugh a lot when I did it. This is the only writing I do. I'm trying to get some ideas on him. I didn't name him, but I decided that he did petty theft because he has like a lot of religious guilt, but he also is kind of like I want to steal things, and and he's like poor. Then I decided I wanted to get a bit used to the colors, so I lined this one so I could color pick from the other drawing I did.
Dude, you did so many. You did so many. You did like 5.
I think I do 4 fully rendered ones in total.
Holy crap! 4?
Including this guy.
That's completely unhinged. That's awesome. Also, this is a really cool, like, what are you doing here for the
I was just putting color maps on it, but I decided I wasn't happy with any of them, so then I decided to do it by hand.
Yeah.
I did a multiply layer, cutting it down into what is orange and what is blue, and I mucked with the opacity a bit.
Oh my god, I love that.
I ended up on a color layer instead of a multiply layer.
Oh yeah. This looks sick. I love this. I'm, again, a huge sucker for orange and blue, like, as a combination, and I think this is so cool. Like, I think it makes a lot of sense to contrast the, like, orange of the ferret with the, like, blue of the cyberpunk, but I do like that you combined that all throughout, so it's not just, like, this color is this aesthetic, and so on. Like, oh, it looks so good!
Yay,
It looks so awesome. I'm such a big fan of this guy. I love this little dude.
Yay! But yeah, so this one I'm color picking, and then for the next one I wanted to try and do it by eyesight so that when we stream I don't have to look at a reference for him.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, yeah.
And I do color pick the way that the stained glass looks there, but I don't actually like it being so dull, especially with the light behind it. I don't think I change it for this one, but I just don't keep it like that for any of the others.
I'm so obsessed. Oh my god, this is so, like, transfixing. You know, when you, like, watch some really good art and you watch them do all the colors and you're like, damn, you know where to put everything. I'm feeling that right now.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, especially because I feel these are not colors you usually work with.
It's true, I hate blue.
Yeah, and like, you don't love orange.
Yeah, orange is fine. Orange is a very useful color, but it's not like red or yellow or anything.
Yeah, which I think this is so good. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I really like how you did the lighting here also. My instinct would have been to do really, like, stark lines, but of course, like, you do... Oh my god, you're doing another!
This is the one that I wanted to do like, just off-site what colors it was.
So cool! I can also really see you getting, like, much, like, better and more confident at the character with each, like, iteration. Like, that's so sick. Yeah. I'm so obsessed with how all of this looks. I keep looking at the lighting of the one that you just did.
That's my favorite lighting, my favorite pose. I did miss the buttons on that one. I just sort of, in general, kept forgetting a few things. I would forget the tail, or I would forget the little neck thing, and I did not do buttons on this guy at all. That jacket just hangs open.
In the future, there will be no buttons, no zips. We just hang our jackets open like men.
It's true.
This is so cool. I'm so impressed. Oh.
He doesn't have a name.
Well, we could brainstorm a name. I feel it would be fitting for him to have a very Dark Souls-y name that's like... Cleric of the Clarion Bell. Or I guess something about his lamp, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Of the,
The cleric of the, amber...
The amber lamp.
The amber
the
lamp.
Lampa.
The Lamber. Adam Lambert. This is so cool.
This is me trying to figure out how to do the lighting on this one because it was backlit.
Yeah.
I could not figure out a way that I was particularly happy with doing this.
This looks good.
So I do mess around with it a bit more. trying to find if there's like
Classic
a different
blending
type
layer.
of layer that will help. But in general, I was just like, well, I'll just add some points of light, and then then I got rid of it.
And then they're
and I decided I would do one more to have
He's
like a
hugging
final
you.
piece to like round it out.
Oh my god, to
Um,
round it out, to round the other 3 finished pieces out.
So yeah, this is just drawing him in the same pose that was like the very first like model pose that I did.
He's
Because
so
I
cute.
think that one's nice and simple.
And it like shows off the like the posing and the like clothing really well, because he's like stretched out.
Yeah, it's true. You can see like all of them. One thing you can't see is he's got like a little ribbon tying up that skirt, but you can't really see it unless he's inside.
Cute. This is so sick. Whoa, this is so good. I'm so excited. Oh, did you remember the buttons for this one?
I eventually did, but I couldn't be bothered putting them on both sides, so I just did one halfway through coloring one side.
It's so valid of you. What do you think? What was the most difficult part of the process? Because looking at the speed draw, it feels like you like nailed the concept immediately.
It was a little bit difficult to come up with something because I wanted at first to do just like a guy in a tunic with like a shield and then some like wires coming out of him, and so this just sort of like happened. The most difficult part was probably the lamp. Oh yeah, and then I forgot to hit record on the render.
Oh yeah, and I forgot.
So it just ended.
So it just ends.
There was
Oh,
like
it looks so
half an
good.
hour of rendering, but I did add buttons to the one side. You can see
You
there.
did, yes.
I think the most difficult part was definitely the holographic skirt. I
Yeah.
still don't think that I got it very well. I think it looked best the first time I did it. And then I forgot that technique, so I didn't use it again. And then also kind of doing the gauntlet hands was really fun, but it was kind of difficult to make them not look like bones a lot of the time.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And I'm not very enamored with the lamp in general. It wasn't
It
it
is.
wasn't that important. It was important for like being a light source, but I didn't ever pay much attention to it.
Yeah,
so
it
it
didn't
doesn't
do
look
much prop
great.
design kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Oh, I love how the orange light on the like left shoulder is so like bold and like it looks so good. It looks really good. I enjoy this. And I think that you used the orange like well. I feel that like with the lighting and the lamp and like I think that this counts.
Thank you. Yeah, it was meant to be like the lining of the jacket and the shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
But then that kept turning into like muddy sort of browns and creams.
Yeah.
I made sure to go as bold as I could with the lighting.
Oh, this looks awesome. I love him so much. Oh, he's really good. I'm so impressed with everything you did here. I think you did a really, really good job with all of my stipulations.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, well done. I think we
Well done
nailed
to
it.
both of us.
I think we really nailed it, yeah. This was a really fun challenge, I think. I was very intimidated for a lot of it, but I enjoyed doing it, ultimately. It was a cool experience.
Yay, I did too. Here are both of them side by side.
Yeah.
We've got Lily come back and the cleric of the lamppost.
The lamppost cleric.
The lamppost cleric, just a title.
Yeah. I don't think that this guy gets a name,
If
honestly.
he does, it's something like Ross.
Darren.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. But it's
Thank
time
you.
for us to quit fooling around.
Yeah!
See you next time.
See ya! Bye!
Hello everyone, Editing Finn here. Just here to say if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. See you next time.